quick ending there. Welcome, everybody. Nice to see you. Nice to get a bunch of you legal and true crime people together because damn, have I had a morning. I have been reading and reading and reading. Ben Chu is brilliant. That's all I have to say. But we'll get to that. Like, I had the most entertaining morning reading the brief in response to the ridiculousness of Elaine Berdoff. I couldn't say it better. Of course, I'm not a lawyer, so of course I couldn't say it better. But damn, it was good. It was very good. But before that, let's start with the other case that, well, it's not got as much paperwork behind it right now, but it is a hot one. It's Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell and their criminal case for murder of their two children. Um, Basically, the update on that is last time we talked, they were petitioning to move the case out of Fremont County to another jurisdiction because of the how long it's taken, because of the news coverage of it, because, Fremont County is not that big and there was going to be a tainted jury pool, period. There's no doubt about it. We all know that that's probably very, very reasonable. However, they still wanted the same judge and the same prosecutors and all of that. They still wanted to hold on to the case. So they petitioned Ada County to take it and they agreed. Boise, it will be in Boise and they will use that jury pool. Well, they have a little bit of a different arrangement going on here. Although they did say that, they're going to continue to trial. Okay. They're definitely continuing to trial. This motion here that I'm showing up here is that because Lori didn't get wasn't proved to be able to stand trial until April and didn't get actually re-indicted and charges and what didn't go for her arraignment until after that point. After that point, there is statute law there in that county that a speedy trial, you have a right to it, and you should be brought before a jury of your peers within 6 months. Okay. Now, Lori is not vacating her right to a speedy trial. They did put a petition through that they still want to keep the case of Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell tried together. Now, I think we've all talked about this in the past. I agree that that is a very good idea because then they can't do I said, you said, or indicate each other in a separate trial that the other one is guilty and build a defense that way. All of the evidence would pertain to both of them as it should, since it really does look like, it is definitely the two of them together. Hey, quiz. Mm. Mm. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. I thought Quiz was here. Sorry, Jen. But I'm glad to see everybody here. They should be glad that they get a plea bargain. Aaron, I have to admit with you, you would think that would be the right thing, but no, they're going through jury. Neither one of them have yet. And actually, during that motion, the judge said, no, we're going forward. We're not going to allow this separate trial during the 6-month period. And they had to look at the law about it because they have to make sure they're not violating Lori's rights in any way so that there's not going to be a mistrial or there's not going to be a chance for appeal. So when they had to weigh it out under certain, statutes that exist and certain precedents in cases, and what they came up with is that Lori Vallow will benefit and her defense will benefit from the additional time greatly and will benefit from actually not having to do the additional work by using the resources with Chad Daybell, working together towards their own defense, since most of the evidence indicates both of them, that it is in their best interest to delay and do the trial, not to give her a separate trial, but to have her trial in this January of 2023 with Chad Daybell. So they've agreed to do that. That's what that motion was all about. The judge just, he took a while to decide on it too, because judges tend to do things cautiously to make sure there's not going to be loopholes left over there for things to be reversed. Nobody wants their stuff reversed. I mean, I wouldn't, Hey, Luke, welcome. Hey, Turtle Moves, welcome. And T King and Shay and everybody coming in late that I didn't get to type at. I'm glad you're here. because it's gonna be fun in a little bit. Like this one it annoys me. I'll admit I don't like to cover children, so this one really gives me a stick in the crow. But because it was the two of them, and because it was all cult oriented, and because of how Lori was acting beforehand about thinking everybody was zombies, because there was that whole tie-in with the church, because of the legal messiness of her being in the mental facility and the church trying to send a lawyer over there, like the whole thing, the whole crossing of lines, shadiness. That's what intrigued me to this. Just the legal shenanigans. I like legal shenanigans, kind of a thing. Kind of makes my coffee taste a little bit better in the morning when I'm reading it. Because normal legal stuff, that's cool. I love that. I am a legal nerd. I admit it. I love reading that stuff. I read that stuff like it's a great novel, like it's the best story ever. But when you put shenanigans in there too, just makes it a little more enticing, a little spicier, to tell you the truth. But it is just shenanigans. I mean, definitely legal shenanigans going on here back and forth. But the judge is doing his best to keep it straight. And on that note, he has, in this case, which started in Idaho or Arizona, we know, and it went all the way to Hawaii and then back again. It's national. Can we agree? Like the coverage here, the fame of this case is like everywhere. Okay. It goes all the way back to September of 2019. Just a refresher, we're talking about the death of J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan, who went missing in September of 2019. And that's what started everything. Back in June of 2020, they found the remains on the property of Vallow's current husband at the time, Chad Daybell. There are also multiple deaths involved in this case besides the children that are all under speculation with everybody involved. There's niece nephew thing. There's a whole exes. Both exes are dead. Yeah. There's a lot in here. It's a lot of shenanigans. Okay. Their trial is set, like I said, for January of 2013. They've been indicted on the murders, and they have been indicted with murder and conspiracy to commit murder. A conspiracy to conspiring together to commit the murder in both of those children's death. The court has decided to allow Ada County Courthouse to hold the trial in January of 2023. And that's in Boise. That's out of jurisdictions of Fremont, although not, because it's going to be the same judge. Okay. Stephen Boyce is still going to be the judge. Okay. He's going to keep a hold of the case. He's from Fremont County. Okay. But he is going over, and going to have it actually in Ada County at that time. They made the request for the change of venue because of the fame of the case and it being, like I said, and they need an unbiased jury. They can't get one in Fremont County. And in order to save expenses, this is what it boiled down to really save expenses. They would rather the people on trial and the lawyers to have to travel to another courthouse than to have to take a jury pool all the way to another county. Even for the interviews and all of that, they would have to bus them all, back and forth. And we're talking, they have to interview thousands. Like, this is a big national case. We're not talking hundreds here. We're talking thousands of people have to go through the process. The process has already started. Okay, they're preparing the questions already. That's why I'm doing the update now. You might be wondering, well, why are we talking about it? It's not even going to happen until January. Because right now, today, they have to start the preparations for this because it's that huge. The whole courthouse has to make arrangements for this other whole entity of a whole separate court room to be in their vicinity. They need rooms and chambers. They need areas. They need places for the defendants. They need places for the lawyers. They need places for everyone to work. They need a separate jury room. Okay, for them, and there are multiple juries at a time in a courthouse because there's multiple cases going on. Now, in the smaller places, maybe not so much, maybe not as much room. So it is going to take a lot of preparation. To this day, I don't know if this is going to be televised, but I would think this case of all would be. There's some that I see televised that I'm like, why it's really not that great. Well, this one is sensational, and I do believe the interest in it over the years have not waned. This is 2022. I'm still talking about it. There are 20, 30, 40, 50 other channels out there talking about it also, still, constantly. So I do believe that it will be televised, and we'll deal with that when it happens, and see what happens. It depends on the rules and regulations in that area. When we saw the Johnny Depp case, it was in Fairfax County, and they have an open court rule that they really kind of stick to. It is open to everybody. It's in everybody's best interest to see everything, because then you don't have to be doing all these transcripts. You don't have to be doing all this stuff and answering all these questions. They believe in just an open policy about it, and they stuck to it. But not every county is like that. Not every state is like that. So it's going to depend, and it's also going to depend on whether the defense fights that, whether they want it. Okay, so most of the information that I'm getting is from a Stephen Hippler, who's the administrative district judge for that 4th district in Ada County. And he said that although that trial is a month away, like he said, they're all trying to prepare for it, because it's going to be a great, it's going to be an artful dance. It involves a lot of choreography. It includes, all of the facilities, and of course, working with another judge and a jury commissioner to make sure a sufficient number of potential juries are summoned. Now, that's going to be the biggest thing, because in this case, it would be, normally in a murder case, it could be hundreds, but this is going to be thousands of potential jurors. Okay. And they have to find jurors they gotta have to actually go about the death penalty and about what they've heard about this, and exclude people, because this is a capital case. So they have to find folks who have a position on the death penalty that would preclude them from being on the jury as a matter of law. And they have to weed out a lot of people. And so the questionnaire has to be prepared, and it has to be intensive. Judge Boyce is going to work on what he's going to allow inside the courtroom itself in terms of media. That's going to come from the original judge, not from Hippler. Even though Hippler, that administration, that courthouse needs to, in Ada County, accommodate it. It's going to be up to Judge Boyce from Fremont County whether or not that gets allowed or not, regardless of what the rules are. He's going to have the final say on that. It's a great undertaking, but for me, I'm encouraged to see a couple of counties judicially and legally working together to try to get justice here and provide a sound trial with all rights, protected for those that are the defendants, so that there's no loopholes or nothing else going on. Like, they're doing their best to do that, and I think that's great. So that's my update on Vallow and Daybell. Let me just go through the chat real quick to see if you guys have any questions on that before I move on to fun. Haha. Yeah, I say that with all dripping sarcastic I can possibly manage. Okay. Hey, Mrs. Cassandra, nice to see you. Let's see. You know what, Luke? This is a good one. Court costs are quite expensive. Quite expensive. Yep. Yes, they are. And Shay, you're right. The brother did die. The brother died before the children, I think, but the spouse was killed. There was the husband of a niece that's going on, and also Daybell's wife died also. There's a lot. There's a lot. I do have other videos on these. I usually link the playlist to all of the true crime down below. You can find it there. If you just search the playlist for the word Vallow, it'd probably come up. I normally list who I'm covering in the title to make it easier for you to search if you're looking for a particular case. At least I hope it's easier. If not, let me know and I will send you a direct link. Okay. This kind of case really tests my opposition to the death penalty. When it involves children, I can understand that, Aaron. I really can. Okay. Um, Turtle moves, is that Tug's definition of fun? Maybe. I think when it comes to Miss Heard, that Tug and I might have the same sense of what fun might be. Like watching them fall on their face. Yeah. Yeah, I think so, if that's what you mean. Yeah. Hey, Arto, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Isn't Laurie's brother's death one of the only ones who wasn't marked as a suspicious? Yes. He was found in his new wife's bathroom by his new stepson, apparently of natural causes. Yes, Laurie's brother, um, they're saying that that one is absolutely natural, but he was actually indicated in the other death of her spouse and possibly other things. That's what that's why that death kind of ties in, and that's why they were looking at it to begin with, even though it does appear to be ruled as not suspicious. But he was, he isn't there to testify now about these other things that happened, which makes it shenanigans, Kyle. Whether it's organic shenanigans or manufactured shenanigans, it's still, in my eyes, shenanigans. It makes it difficult. It really does. Was the guy who was saying under penalty and purgative? What? Jen, I don't know what that means, but it sounds ridiculous. Forgot to close the quote. Okay, I don't know. He was under Benadryl and Berg. Okay, I'm not even reading any more of this. I don't know what okay. He was the family hitman, shot out the window of his niece's ex-husband, too. Yes, Kyle. Bingo, bango, bongo. You got it. Bingo, girl. This is what I mean. Shenanigans, okay? Even though he's gone, Lori Vallow's brother, there's a lot there implicating he was very involved in everything that was going on. So, hey, when it comes to this case, people are like dropping off all over the place. Like for a while there, it was like we just kept getting more and more murders. Okay. Now you wonder Shay, that's a good question. Who was the mastermind? Because, when they met, Daybell was supposed to be this charismatic preacher of new wave religion and thought, right? But then Lori Vallow turned into the zombie accusing kind of wackadoo. So who knows? Like, was it the charismatic preacher who just wanted her to himself and build his own church or whatever, and they were going to go off into the sunset? Or was it Lori Vallow who just, lost a screw or two and just started living in a fantasy world, and she really started to think she was the divine influence in the relationship? It gets really, really weird. You're gonna have to read some of these documents, and I can't wait for the testimonies because it's late. It's definitely late. Shay, this one is convoluted. I believe you're right, Kyle's Goldfish. Lori and Chad will blame him for the Lori and Chad will blame him for the kids. Kids died in September. Alex Cox's brother didn't pass until December. They will say he did it and they only disposed and covered it up. They're going to try, but they're going to have to prove it. They're going to have to prove it. Yeah, like a flock of seagulls, Grace, new wave religion. It's just my catchphrase for I'm trying to be kind when I don't really want to be. Does that make any sense? Yeah, I think you know what I mean. I don't know the religion that he ascribes to. There is a church involved, but I hate to name it and give them the cred because they are involved in being a little wacky by calling up on Lori while she was in an institute, and giving some person involved in all of that worked there and phone calls going on, That's right. We're discussing a Savit that couldn't even say under penalty and perjury correctly. That's what Jins was saying. It was like Purgakitty. I get it, but I can't say exactly what he said. I don't remember the exact way he mispronounced it, but I understand. I get it. I do. All right. Yeah, I mean, she did think she was like kind of like Mother God, Shay. She was leaning towards that way, but even crazier. Like, I really do, because she was harmful in her accusations about people. I do. Okay. Kyle, you got the facts again. Alex Cox's cell phone tracking shows him in Chad's backyard and around the area in September. And I know they're going to try to blame him. Yes. But it also shows that they were there too, that Chad was there too. Like, it's going to be hard to pin it only on him if they were all there. I get it though. I know exactly. I know you think like I do. You can see where they're going to go because of what would make sense. If we were the defense attorneys, what would we try, right? Like, yeah, absolutely. They are. Purger Kitty did it. Yep. Turtle moves. That's what they said. I get it, Shay. That's not actually a defense, is it? Right? Nope. That's not actually a defense. That's it. Under a penalty of purgatory, I demand good content. Claire, so far you have delivered, and thank you. Well, thank you, Arto. I appreciate the compliment and the snarky way that you did it. I admire that in a person. Thank you very much. Yes, Aaron, it did change every time. That guy thought he was a lawyer mumble rapper. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. He was a mumble rapper and thought he had some legalese behind it. Yes, I agree. Not good. All right. So can we move on to the fun, please? If you guys are done. Okay, wait. One more comment from here from Kyle. I believe all three did it, but as he can't refute it, they will try to heap as much blame on him, and I believe she means the brother, Alex Cox, as possible. I can hear it now. He had mental problems and carried a gun. We were scared, etc. Yeah. Oh, how about the zombie defense, right? He was a zombie after all. Because isn't that Lori Vallow's thing? Yeah. When we getting dirty, we're not getting dirty. We're going to have fun, Mrs. Cassandra. Legal fun is not dirty. Although I must admit that this does involve a bunch of bad manners by a bunch of people as far as legal goes. I can tell you. All right. Let's just start with a little breakdown, and I don't want to get into too many big details because it's everywhere. You can go to Twitter. I can link you up the wazoo to the lawsuits with the insurance companies. Let me just give you a little brief, what do you call it, TLDR, like too long for you all to read, but I could just tell you that this started way back last July. Okay. It's true. Amber Heard had several insurance policies. Two of the main ones, Travelers Insurance and New York Marine. There is a dispute between New York Marine and Travelers Insurance. Basically, because in July of 2021, New York Marine decided that they should not have to pay for any of Amber's legal because, here's the thing, they provided an attorney under their contract for Amber. Okay. Amber wasn't letting that attorney participate in the defense. Ergo, why do we have to pay for her defense? Okay. Travelers, after the verdict, is having to pay all of this stuff, and they've been fighting all along to try to get New York Marine to contribute to the defense costs. But it gets worse. Okay. It gets worse. They're suing each other back and forth, going back and forth. But now New York Marine has added to the complaint that, well, in our clause, even though it covers defamation, it also says, but not if she did it with intent, like herself, like she caused the action of defamation herself. It wasn't accidental. It wasn't in the course of business. She kind of like did it. And since the jury said that she did it with malice because they did find her guilty, ergo, they've got another way to get out of paying for it. Okay. And so it's going back and forth with him. But it's getting kind of contentious. And it looks like maybe Travelers is going to force them to, no, you got to stick with it. So what did New York Marine do? This month, they went around, they sued Amber Heard. Yep. They're contending that she got the insurance policy with the intent that she knew what she was going to do. And therefore, since she intended to cause this problem for herself, they shouldn't have to pay. Also, because she did it with malice, they shouldn't have to pay. And also, because she wouldn't let their attorneys participate in her defense, they should not have to pay. I think it's hysterical. I think it's like, this is fun. Okay. This is brilliant. This is all of the prickly little cactus needles you ever wanted Amber Heard to sit on. Like, she is not getting a free pass about any of this. She thinks she's just going to overturn everything and everything's going to go her way. And now the people that she's actually paid to protect her, because, you know, she had all these lawyers checking out these insurance companies and making, they had an actual, the New York Marine policy has actual indication that they will absolutely cover oral and written defamation. Now, come on, that's a brilliant policy for somebody like Amber Heard. That took some research. That is not always in there, is it? Does that sound like something normal in a liability policy? Yeah, I got to tell you, I don't think many people are getting paid, Shay. I just saw that last comment come up. It's like the last one that just popped. Elaine is not getting paid. And you know what? Elaine's bad manners should not let her get paid. Because when Amber's going to put all of her eggs in a basket with Elaine Berdhoff, and now all the insurance companies are suing her for not getting adequate representation, not even letting them participate, well, hey, is she kind of getting what she asked for, isn't she? She kind of set this up. She did it to herself. You know, I don't know. You know, I don't really feel bad for her at this point. So before, Turtle, when you asked me if this is the kind of fun, like in Tug standard fun, oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. This, I hate to say I'm a bit biased. I've always told you I was biased about the Amber Heard case. I still am. I think these insurance companies, I don't really want them to go after each other. I want them both to go after her. Because if she did plan this out with intent, and they're using the time frame that she got the policy in July, knowing she was in the process of the PR of the movie Aquaman, okay, and that she would be releasing that op-ed later at a date. It was already, you know, starting up this stuff about advocacy and stuff like that, and that, you know, all along, even during the trial, we heard that it was probably a PR thing. This whole thing was staggered as a PR thing for her to build up her career and to get her more play out there and to make it a big deal, you know. And she's a big deal. She's a big deal now. She, you know, that old saying, be careful what you ask for. You just might get it. Well, Amber, you wanted to be known everywhere. You wanted to be that big. You just didn't know it was going to be for hanging your ugly ass out. That's what, you know, I'm sorry, but that's what's happening. You are getting exposed for all of this stuff, and you are as popular as you wanted to be, but not for the reasons you wanted. Your reputation is really taking a hit. Yeah. And let's not forget that Australia is really getting some pressure to look into this. Over there, they are also under heat for why haven't you done anything? Like, she committed perjury. We have evidence of it. Why aren't you doing anything? It is open for investigation. Yes, they're looking into it. They do have to work with, you know, other agencies like our FBI, you know, for information and to get stuff here from the state. So, yup. It's a mess. It's a national mess. It's a worldwide mess. It's all the mess that Amber Heard could ever ask for in her claim for fame and notoriety. She got it. She definitely got it. But that's not even the best part. Okay. Now, y'all know we talked about it. Hey, Mandy. Oh, love. Mandy, if you got time, I'll throw you a link on this one, girl. This is fun. This is fun. Yeah, if you want it, you just put a little thing there. I will send it to you wherever you say if you want to come up for a minute, because this is the kind of fun you deserve to enjoy too. This is fun because, you know, Johnny Depp, bench Chu's filing against Elaine's accusations trying to get this verdict overturned. It's brilliant. It's just like, it's one of the best things I've read in a long time. You know, it is a hot mess, Luke, on 3 continents, right? Yes, all over. It's like she's got the notoriety she wanted, right? Just not for the right reason. You know, this song. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Elaine is being controlled by the Yes, remember that, Arcanics? We named it the Cardigan of Evil. Damn, she is. She should really. It's summer. She needs to take it off, right? She needs to try to fly right. It's not working though. I don't know. I think it's too late for Elaine. I think she's in. She's in. Yes, yes. She's just in. Mm. I make it easy for you. I'm not pressuring you. Don't feel pressure, okay? And please, nobody else. This is for Mandy, and um, don't feel pressure though. If you can't, you can't. I know you're working. I know your hours, so don't. I just want, if you have a moment and you feel like sounding off, you're always welcome here. So that's for you. But mhm. I know. Oh, you're in the car? Never mind. Okay. I'm deleting it. Like I said, no pressure, love. I wouldn't do that to you. I just wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity if you wanted it. But I can't wait to talk to you about this some more. Like we gotta have some fun, girl. So hit me up. But anyway, um, let's move on to, you all know that Elaine filed motions. This has been said. First of all, remember when the judge said the verdict is now in. We have ratified it. It's in. It's in, filed, done. The case went to the jury. No more motions. I'm not reading them. Oh, well, Amber can't hear, or Elaine can't hear. Somebody over there can't hear, because they filed 4 or 5 after that. The one about sealing everything, because remember, in Fairfax County, everything's open. And the judge had already said in motions prior with Ben and Elaine right there that everything would be open after verdict. Everything would go in as open after verdict. That's how they do it there. And they had every intention of opening everything up. So the first thing the Cardigan of Evil does, yes, Arcadics, I love it. I'm just going to keep using it because that's, in case anybody needs the cliff notes, we are referring to Elaine Baradoff, Amber Heard's main attorney. The Cardigan of Evil ran off and filed a motion immediately trying to suppress just about every damn thing Amber said in the trial. Go look at it. It's like everything Amber said, because she don't want Amber's words used against her in any way. It's ridiculous, because if you look back at the trial, and if you want to have a good laugh, it's all on the channel. Okay, it's all in there in Depp Heard, all the streams we did with Ranty, all the live coverage, all of the recap weekly streams that I did with Mandy, all the pre-trial streams I did with Mandy that we did on the evidence. It's all there. And it is even more funny how often we got to use Amber's own words and actions against her. And I guess Elaine was like, well, that's a pattern we're going to have to stop. Let's go seal everything up, because we want to file an appeal. And no, it's all still going to be open for the appeal anyway. It's still going to be there. But I'm saying that all her words are still going to be used against her because nothing's been sealed. No, I mean, they're going to open it all up. And she did not even, the judge, all those motions that Elaine filed in the beginning about sealing everything, about challenging the amounts of the verdict that was put in, the amounts of the penalties that she has to pay, when and she has to pay, how she should have to pay for her appeal, how much she should put up, all of these motions that are going forward. The judge has not looked at it. She hasn't put an order out or an answer on any of it. Okay. The last one that they put out was the one where not only did they, first of all, appeal the verdict at all, trying to say that Amber couldn't possibly have committed defamation per limitation because she was famous. I'm laughing because they listed a couple of precedents there, but in Ben Chu's answer, he listed quite a few more bigger cases to where, yeah, you can, and you did. And, you kind of should have mentioned that when we filed against you for it, not when we found you guilty of it. That would have been the thing. If you really thought that she could not possibly go up for Depp, then why, when you got your motion to dismiss and tried to mention it, if it didn't fly then, what makes you think it's going to fly now in a post-verdict situation? Okay. Ridiculous. Absolutely. I mean, talk about wasting a bunch of papers. I mean, the poor trees, Elaine. The poor trees. Like, make that make sense. Come on. It's ridiculous where she's going with this. Then, hmm, then they try, of all things, to say that it's the amount they got to go against because Amber's being punished unduly for what could have been known. What's going on. They went over and above the amount that they should have awarded. Ridiculous to make her suffer with such financial duress. And that their punitive damages were meant to punish her because they were punishing a victim because they were mad at her for whatever reason. Because it's never Amber's fault. Nothing's ever Amber's fault. Well, I got to show you this one thing here, but the answers on this stuff is just brilliant. When I tell you that Mr. Chu, Mr. Chu, I just admire him so much. I really do. I want to get the right page. Ignore that page. That's not the one I want. Of course, it's not the one I want. So I'm going to cover it while I look for the next, because the one I want is actually a footnote. And I love footnotes. Like when you're reading a legal brief, when you go down to the footnotes, okay, you get to know the attorney just a little bit better. You get to know where they're at with stuff. Okay, so they're arguing that, of course, since he asked for 40 million and he only got 10, how could it possibly be that it was overly done and overhandedly against her when they were asking for so much more in the beginning? Okay, they definitely were. They settled on 10, the jury did, so that doesn't look like they're being heavy-handed. It looks like they're being reasonable, actually. But the footnote, let me just pull this footnote up here. This is one of my favorites. From Ben Chu, who is now my legal hero for the week. Absolutely. The best morning I've had reading a brief that I've had in a long time. Here's footnote in regards to some of those comments from Elaine about Miss Heard being persecuted in the amount of judgment that was done. Okay, they say Miss Heard also argues here that the 10 million in compensatory damages awarded was intended to punish her. See motion at 18, meaning, her motion that she filed. But that clearly is not the case. The 5 million in punitive damage was intended to punish Miss Heard for her actions, not the 10 million in compensatory damages, which reasonably reflects the damage attributed to the op-ed between December 18th of 2018 and November 2nd of 2020. The 5 million in punitive damages was, of course, properly reduced to the statutory cap of $350,000. Well, let me just tell you why I find that so brilliant. I find that so brilliant because in that statement, he has just shown that not only does Elaine not care about language, legal language in her argument, how can you say that the compensatory damages are the punishment part of a verdict when punitive damages have clearly been set aside to do so? Make that make sense. Come on, Elaine. How much paper did you, 3-4 pages you wasted on that? Oh my God. Oh, were you up all night? You should have slept. You should have slept a little bit, Elaine, and came back to that one. I'm not a paralegal. I'm not a lawyer, but I like the law, and that looks like a clown-ass joke to me. I'm sorry. I'm going to call it the way I see it. That was garbage. Elaine, really? Oh, and I'm so happy, I am so happy that he actually addressed it the way that he did, because that made me happy. It did. And yeah, I'm having a little fun. I'm being a bit snarky because I just can't help it. I spent all morning reading this and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So, okay, they're starting with the amount. They're starting that, well, she couldn't possibly be guilty of it because she's like can't get defamation per limitation because, you know, they were both in the business and blah, blah, blah. They should be allowed to talk to it. But, you know, all of that is what you should have used in your motion to dismiss, which you probably did try. I do believe you did try some of that then, and you didn't get it then. What makes you think you're going to get it in a post verdict? You were not unfairly judged for that. Okay. You were judged by your own words. The testimony that you put forward. That's what the jury looked at. And apparently, you know, you're not taking the L very well, Elaine. Please, you know, please sit down. I do think you need to sleep a little bit more because that argument, I mean, Ben Chu did it with such finesse and such snark that, you know, he's my legal hero right now. I love a snarky lawyer who's right. Who's right? You know, I don't like a snarky lawyer who's not, you know, those ridiculous ones. You know who I'm talking about. I'm not even going to say his name because we haven't heard him. And I'm afraid if I say his name, he's going to pop up in the media. Let him stay where he is. Let's not bring up his name. Don't do it. Hey, Colin, nice to see you. Isn't it damn good? I'm glad you said that, Colin, because I'm reading it. I'm telling you, she should take notes. She should take notes. The list of presidents. You know what? I want to show you people what a really decent looking presentation from an attorney looks like. I do, because, you know, hold on a second. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Which one do I want? Is this the answer? Hold on. Nope. Nope. This one is. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I should have hit it up and ready. Yes, bad YouTube creator here right now. Not getting everything up the way it should. But I just want to show you how. All right, if I... Good. Okay, so now if I... You know, the thing is I have like 20,000 tabs up at the same time. And you know my potato hates that. Well, I know, personal problems you don't want to hear. All right, here we go. Let me just, you know, it just looks like a normal proceeding when you first look at it, right? But this man, this law firm, because he's not the only one writing here, they usually give us the table of contents. They tell us what page to go to for what part of the argument that we're going to hit. You see this? They're saying that the damage is awarded. They're addressing the other motion that Elaine had filed on Amber's behalf to overturn the verdict based on how unfair the whole trial was. Okay. So the first part was about the damages awarded by the jury were supported by the evidence and law. Okay, saying because Elaine and Amber were saying that no, the way that she was persecuted unduly by the jury with the amount that they put against her because the evidence just wasn't that good. Or the case that was given wasn't that good. The verdicts on the complaint and the counterclaim are consistent. They tried to say that because Amber got awarded for one of Waldman's statements, the only statement that didn't indicate sexual abuse or domestic violence of any nature. Do you remember that? The other two did indicate Johnny in some way and allude to some kind of violence on his against Amber. They wouldn't give her those because they were clearly sending a message that we do not believe Johnny Depp abused you. That's what they're saying. But they're saying we might believe that Waldman was speaking out of turns because you did not get charged with a false report to the police for what you did. And that was what they based it on, that they are not under they don't have a criminal case against them for doing that. There's no evidence to say they actually spilled that wine, they did that thing or whatever. Nobody's come for them for that yet that I see. That they saw presented in the court. Okay, so they went with the one that It was. And, instead of being grateful she got that one, she's going to try to use the fact that they gave her a little grace to overturn the whole thing. It's not going to work because you could separate the issues clearly, which Ben Chu did elegantly in this brief. And by the way, I will be linking this brief for you guys because it's brilliant. Hold on. Before I forget, anybody that wants it, grab it right from there as soon as you can. Okay, but I will be putting it in the link also, in the description. Okay. Anyway, it gets down to the jury's finding of defamation regarding the op-ed headline. Then she tried to say they never proved that she knew what the headline said. So it's unfair for the jury to use that as a point of contention and vote yes on the jury slip about the op-ed title because they never proved that Amber actually saw it. Amber retweeted it exactly as it was. But apparently she did it with both eyes closed, magic fingers, figuring it out, typed the whole body of a new message while retweeting the whole thing. But no, it's possible in Elaine Burdoff's little evil cardigan world that Amber never saw it and didn't know that that's what it said. She's literally saying Amber Heard didn't know that's what this title said. Bogus. Like, really. I mean, I think Elaine really does need sleep. I'm wondering how many days she went without sleep before she wrote her motion. Because I know that Ben was very well rested when he wrote his, because this is great. Okay. All right. They did support actual malice. Okay. Even though Elaine says they didn't, the jury's finding is that they did support malice, and it's in the record. Mr. Depp did present sufficient evidence to support all the findings of defamation by innuendo. She's saying that, nope, it can't possibly be defamation because she never mentioned his name. And there's not enough there to say that she was talking about Johnny. Well, she admitted it on the stand. I mean, I believe it was while you were right there, Elaine, in front of her. She was right there. Wasn't she there, guys? I mean, you were there with me. Was she right there when she admitted it, that it was all about Johnny? Okay. All right. But the best part is about Jury 15. Now, do you guys all know what's going on about Jury 15? There are two people with the same name. Could be son and father, could be grandfather and grandson. We don't know the whole story yet. That hasn't come to light. These are the facts that I do have. They both have the same name. They both live in the same place. When the jury summons came in, somebody answered it. Okay. When they answered it in person when they showed up. Okay. And Elaine was there. And so was all of Amber's attorneys. And so were all of Johnny's attorneys. So also on the sheet, they were given the list of people that they were actually, doing the questions for the jury selection. They have their particulars on there. It was clearly at that time evident to Amber Heard's attorneys by representation could clearly see that if they had a problem with the birth date and the face they were looking at, I'm sorry, if you missed it, oh, boo-hoo you. Because Virginia actually has statutes against using that. Okay, you had your opportunity. You can't use a clerk error of a birth date or anything like that happened to overturn a verdict. Not there. Not when you let it go to trial. They let it proceed. So whether Elaine knew about it and just stuck a feather in her hat thinking she could use it later when she knew well, I don't want to say she knew that Amber was lying, but maybe she had an inkling they could lose the case. Maybe she stuck a feather in her head. I'll use it later. Ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work because you let it go to trial. Neither the plaintiff or the defendant can argue about that error on that sheet about the birth date because they let it go to trial. They don't get to do that. Okay, because they were looking at the person. Right? Exactly, Aaron. Bullshit tactics. Hey, Mia. Nice to see you. Oh, my God. There's only 25 years between them. Hey, Johnny. Yeah, I know. It's like they couldn't tell, right? Call it like they're looking at him. And nobody argued about it then. Nobody said a damn thing about it then. So here Elaine's argument falls apart and Ben Chu gloriously lays it all out. I'm sorry, team. You knew about this 2 months before. You don't get to go through a whole trial and then go, whoops. Whoops, I think I'll use this. No, no, no. No, you don't, because you're complicit to the error. You let it go. You're complicit to the error. How can you use it as a defense? Okay? Like, make that make sense. Like, make that make sense, right? I'm telling you. No way. No way. I've missed you too, Mia. I've missed so many people from that chat. But as you can see, so many are here. And I'm grateful that you guys still like to hear me talk legal ease and drama and true crime and just have a little fun with it. Because I got to tell you, I'm having a hoot. I'm having a damn hoot with Ben Chu's answer to Elaine. I'm like cheering him on every other word. I'm looking up all the precedents. I'm just having the time of my life today about this. I really am. Yeah, Grace, don't count on that Christmas bonus. And the way it's going, please don't even count on getting paid, because apparently somebody else always pays Elaine's bills, because we're looking at the insurance company putting forth almost all the money. Travelers has put out so much. And remember, there were other attorneys prior. There was Roberta Kaplan. Remember the ACLU, the big wig lawyer that the ACLU brought in, to help her out and everything. They paid her. They've paid so much out. And I understand why they're going for New York. They just don't want to be the only one holding the bag, because they know Amber isn't going to pay anything. Okay. And they don't want to be the only one holding the bag for this. And so they're going after New York. But I understand New York Marine's point on it too. Because why, if it's in there that if she caused the incident, that's their loophole? Damn straight, they got every right to use it, because they proved malice, which means intent. She caused it. They're thinking the timing and everything leads to, that it alludes to the fact that, yes, she did plan it. And she was trying to protect herself by getting the insurance policy with a specific clause in it about defamation, oral or written, that she may cause against another person. Okay. Nice people don't need those kind of things, but hey, I don't know. I know I'm having a little too much fun, and thank you for tolerating it, but damn. This is cracking me up. Ben Chu is absolutely right. They can't complain when they knew about it the whole time. They knew about it the whole time. And there's absolutely how Elaine can ignore the laws and regulations right there for that county where she has this case. She's totally ignoring precedent that's already been settled there, and cases and law that says you can't use a technical error on a clerk's part to overturn a verdict. You can't. Period. It says it. Now, I don't think it took Ben Chu very long to find that. I do believe he remembers where the case was tried, and he uses that information when looking up how to fight something. You would think the opposing attorney might do the same thing when presenting a case to that judge. I don't think she cares about pissing this judge off at all. I think she knows that she's not even going to look at this crap. I hope that Judge Penny just turns it around and says, I'm not touching it. Put your money where your mouth is, Amber Heard and team, and go ahead and pay your fines and all of this other stuff, and then we will go to appeal. Go ahead and file your appeal, because that's the only shot you got, because this is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You found it? You want the link again? I could is that what you're talking about, the link, Mia? Mm-hmm. Yep, Travelers put out over 5 million already. It's all in their case too, which I'm going to link their case file down there too. I made copies for you guys. I know, Turtle. I know, like what? That's like an oxymoron. Evil cardigan, organized preparation. No, I know. I'm speaking really like ridiculous when I actually even infer that that could happen, because we haven't seen it. We've been watching argument after argument just be absolutely the most ridiculous stuff that we've seen. And, it was kind of surprising to me because she was well known. And, if you read about her prior to her relationship with Amber Heard, prior 2018, prior to the UK case, because remember, she was the attorney there too. Well, Ben, yes, Kyle's Goldfish, you are absolutely right. Ben Chu, has said, not today, Satan. Not today. Not today. Oh, no, you didn't. He more like said, whoa. Oh, no, you didn't. You didn't just do that. Like, did you just do that? No, you didn't just do that. No. Yeah, not today. Hey, Asa. Hi. Nice to see you too. Yep. Bye, Shay. Go get. I'll talk to you later. We're almost wrapping up anyway. Thanks for being here, Shay. And Elaine has pledged. Well, Elaine was. Shay says that Elaine is been pledged her payment. She'll get paid just like all the charitable organizations by just saying it. We're going to pay you at some time in the future. Yeah, that should be good enough. Yeah, that'll be okay. That's what's going to work. All right. Well, anyway, any questions about either of the cases? I mean, I really want to talk about Ben Chu. Well, if you have questions about the New York or the Travelers case, I will definitely, because remember, they're suing each other back and forth. And New York took it a step farther, and they're suing Amber Heard. But I think I laid that out pretty clear for you, why they're suing her. Number one, the clause is in there that it does cover defamation, but it doesn't cover it when you you did the incident yourself with full intent. You caused the claim of defamation against you in an intentional manner. And they're trying to say, oh, yes, she did, that she planned the whole thing. And, the other thing is that they have a very strong case because she denied the attorneys that it says that they can provide for her. They get to choose them, denied them access to the defense, gave them no information, and basically barred them from defending her. They had to send their own representative to follow the trial and keep an eye on stuff because they refused the legal team. And so that causes a big problem. She's not actually honoring the way it's laid out in the insurance contract itself for them to help her with her costs and stuff. So, they've got a good case as to why they don't want to pay, and I don't blame them. I'd be fighting too. I do feel bad for Travelers, though. I do. I do feel bad for Travelers that if she did cause this incident herself, that they don't have a loophole to get out of it. I would really like to see, if you're listening, Travelers, why don't you sue Amber too? I mean, New York Marine is. Don't you have anything in there that you could go for so you don't have to you're really upset about these millions of dollars. I know it's easier to sue an insurance company because they know the game. They're just going to, weigh it out on whether it's going to cost them too much to fight it. Maybe they should just pay it. They're reasonable about it. I know you really don't want to sue the unreasonableness that is Amber Heard and her team. I get it, but damn, it will be fun. I mean, come on, help a bear out. Give me some entertainment. Throw over a brief or two. Damn, that would be just the icing on the cake. That would be the trifecta right there. That would be bingo, bango, done. And I would have a lot of fun with that. But anyway, I know. Yes, it seems Elaine is through most of the travels. Yes, yeah. I hear you, Colin. But I really wish that they would find a reason. It would just be great. Okay. Hey, Liam. Oh, no, Luke. I'm sorry. Luke, liability insurance is to protect companies and individuals against malicious legal action, not pay for people's bad behavior. Exactly. Well-made point, Luke. Thank you. Exactly. This is why they're going back at her. She picked the wrong card. She thought it said get out of jail free. Unfortunately, it said go straight to jail, do not pass go, and do not collect $200,000. Yes, Turtle Moves. It's like a bad game of Monopoly. I have a crush on his facial expressions in the courtroom, stealing Johnny's sweets, fist pumping, or staring down Amber as she walks past. I have to tell you that Ben Chu is absolutely adorable, but besides that, he's brilliant. Brilliant. Kyle, I hope I gave you the link. If you don't already have it, read that brief. The man is brilliant. So well organized, so well laid out. It's like, I bet you judges love him. I bet you they do. Although they do think he's snarky. I mean, Judge A did call him snarky, but she's not wrong. If you read it, you can tell how he feels. But it is brilliant. It is good. And he lays down the foundation. No one could argue with his precedent. There are 3 pages of it in a very small brief. 3 pages of precedent. I mean, he does his work. His whole team works together. They're well prepared, well organized, and they talk. They lay it out what they actually think is going on. Easy enough for the judge to actually follow the legal part of it, not the emotional, oh, poor boo-hoo Amber part that seems to be what leads Elaine's motivation in how she lays out her arguments. It's like they persecuted her. They took advantage of her. They like this, that, and the other. It's like, no. Stick with the facts. You're going to get a little bit farther, but doesn't seem to be how Elaine does her lawyering. It's very frustrating to me. Mm-hmm. Travelers. Do you mean the same as travelers in the UK as in the traveler community? No, I mean the insurance company. Let me see if I can give you the whole title. Let's see if I have one of them up here. Travelers Commercial Insurance Company, a Connecticut corporation. They are the one that's suing is based in Connecticut. If that answers your question there. Okay, so right. No, not in the gypsy community. It's a real insurance company. Arcanics. Learning that Elaine has history of handling documents that mysteriously lose their metadata blew my mind. Dodgy, fashion, off-ending, piss biscuit of a human. Piss biscuit of a human? Oh, Arcanics. Wow, I'm going to have to remember that. That was glorious. Thank you. Wonderfully well written. Yes, Mia, the whole brief is wonderfully well written. I'm glad you agree with me. And that I'm not the only legal nerd out here. I am a geek about it, and I'll sing his praises. He wrote it absolutely. Absolutely. No, that's okay, Asa. I get it. Like, that's why I'm helping out. No need to apologize ever. There is never a bad question. There might be one I can't answer, but there's never a bad one. I mean, questions are questions. Elaine acts like she can play the court like she plays the public, and that's not how it works. That's a good question. That brings up a good question to me. And I want to know, do you guys actually think she's playing well to the public? I really don't see a lot turning in Amber's behavior. I actually see it getting worse for her, but I could be biased. So let me know what you guys are seeing out there. I'm sorry, boo-boo. You're going to have to wait. I'm sorry if you can hear the dog. Hold on one second. Murphy. Come on, lay down there, babe. It'll just be a minute. You're going to have to wait a minute, huh? I know there's loud noise, but hold on. Yeah, somebody's making loud noise outside my house. Like, they're hammering something, and he really doesn't like it, so he'll be okay though. I mean, he's just laying there just arguing about the noise. Okay. Oh wait, can we talk about this for a few minutes? Do you want to help me with this one, Mandy? Besides, if you think please let me know in the chat if you think Elaine is making any headway in restoring Amber's reputation as just a victim that's being persecuted by the public because she did nothing wrong. I don't know. Was that too snarky? Nah, that wasn't. That's the way it is in my eyes. But anyway, let me know if you think that she's doing a good job doing that. But on the other hand, do you know that Mandy was blocked by a Stanford professor over the weekend because, she retweeted one of her tweets and she added me on it. We were having a go, or Mandy was having a big go, and I was just supporting her in it because Michelle Dorber. Y'all know about Michelle, the Stanford professor who's out there just like, men are the worst thing in the world. And I'm just going to be that kind of feminist that you guys, just because he's a man, he did it. Like, and that We are all horrible individuals, are we not, Mandy? Because we looked at the evidence instead of just believing her tears. We had the nerve to actually listen to the child. How dare we? How dare we? And this Stanford professional is trying to, this teacher of legal is trying to shame us all for looking at the evidence. I kid you not. If you have access to her Twitter, go read it. It is an exercise in absolute, the most extreme feminist view you could possibly get, that I don't know how people can support it. This is supposed to be a legal mind. This is supposed to be somebody with common sense. She's teaching other legal students. I mean, come on. She's a professor. This is absolute, and she's getting a lot of heat. And she says she's getting the heat because she's a woman. And no, it's because you're an idiot. It's because you're a contrarian. It's because you're like so far outside the argument and you're making no sense. Like, you're making us all look bad, Michelle. That's what it is. That's what it actually is. Hey, Charlie, welcome. How do you mispronounce NASA? Can you explain that to me, Charlie? How did he do that? Charlie just came into the chat and he said he just got to watch Biden mispronounce NASA. I'm like, I'm shocked. I don't know. But Mandy, this was hysterical. And I feel, I know I'm not putting that comment up about the eggplant, Mandy, but I agree with you. I think, she really needs to get a little bit of fun in her life because she's taking this so seriously and really not making good argument. Not at all. Autistic, you might have a point here. I don't think Murphy is a fan of Amber or Elaine, and I think I said Elaine's name too much for Murphy's tolerance. You could be right. You absolutely could be right. Yeah. Oh, I hope I get, Charlie says that this was James Webb's first images were up. I hope I get to see that on replay. I hope somebody has that. I'm sorry to be missing it. I'm sorry to be keeping you all from it. But I'm glad you're here. Turtle Moves, I agree. Amber's reputation is down the cesspit, and Elaine's helping her keep it there. Awesome. Oh, I'm glad, Charlie. I'm glad it's live on a lot of YouTube channels. Thank you for sharing that. I know, Arto, you're a man. I can tell. You present yourself as a man, and you say you never did it. And you know what? I hear you, sir, and I believe you until I see evidence that you did. How do you like that? The nerve of me. Michelle Dauber would be shocked that I said that. She blocked me on Twitter just because I was on Mandy's tweet. It's like she also deals in an echo chamber of anger and man-hating. And that's no way to make an argument. If you have an argument, you lost me at the man-hating part. You really have, because, that's not an argument. Yeah, she's truly certified. the famous Miss Daughter, truly certified. But I'm telling you, how is she still a professor? I don't know. Somebody explain this one to me. Somebody explain that to me. I don't know. But all right. If you have any more questions, I got like 5 minutes for you all, and I definitely want to answer anything else. Oh, this is wonderful news. If anybody doesn't follow the respondent or Greg Ellis or know about these interviews that are going on about how horribly he was treated in the UK system in regards to the corruption of family court and what happened to him, it's a heartbreaking story. But this is actually wonderful. I can't wait for this. Mandy is saying that he was greenlit to do a 10-part docuseries on corruption of the family court. And I am so down for that, Mandy. We are so on that. I am so happy to hear that. Thank you for sharing that for me. And also, love, thank you for the super chat saying you love me. I know you love me. You didn't have to super chat me to tell me, but I love you too. I can't super chat you back. How do you do that? I can't. But anyway, how about I'm just going to give you the biggest shout out in the world. Doing this case with Depp versus Heard and going over all of this with Mandy all along, all this time has been some of the joy of my YouTube since I've had a channel. Mandy, it's been absolutely freaking awesome. I love you to death. On whether you're up here with me or not, just sharing all this with you has been freaking fantastic, and you will always be the voice that I go to about that I want to share this with, that I want to talk to with this case. That anytime you want to do anything about it, like if you want to come and rip Michelle up like for a little while, like let's do it, girl. You always have a home with me, privately and publicly on YouTube. I love you, boo. Okay, was that embarrassing enough? Was that $10 worth of embarrassing shame? Oh God. God, I do love you though, girl. I absolutely do. Hey, Lone Wolf. Just about closing up, but thank you very much. Don't be a bad mod or sub hit that like I just did. You just now hit the like, Mrs. Cassandra. All right. Thank you for reminding me to do the YouTubey things. That's not my it's not in my automatic nature to do it. But yes, please. If you haven't subscribed, and you please do, you'll get notifications. You'll get my community tab, things that go up. I am going to be throwing up little things here and there that you could miss because they won't be live streams. They're going to be little short things and stuff like that. So please subscribe and tell people. I mean, I think there's a good variety of content here. I might be a little biased because I'm the one doing it. Yeah, okay. But I think there's a little bit something here for everybody, and I'd like to hear from more people about it. I love all of you here. And if you like it, there's no harm in sharing it. I'm not asking you to be pushy or, be a PR agent or anything, but yeah, a little bit here and there, it wouldn't hurt. Hit that like button. It does help me get to the algorithm, which will help other people see the stuff that you enjoy. I promise to always keep the chats like these when I'm doing legal. I always want to converse with you guys. That's not going to change as far as that. So don't be afraid to share it, that it'll get too busy in here, because that's not going to happen. Okay, we'll find a way. All right. So hit that like. And also, anybody, if you have anything to say, please hit the back of the comments on the videos. Please, anything about the case, anything you want to tell me. I know my DMs are always open to you, but when you do put a little something on the back of the video, that helps with the algorithm here. These are what the larger YouTubers are telling me. These are our friends in other areas are saying. So I'm just passing it along. If it helps, it helps. Because I want to stay here so I can do this with you. And if you like it, support it that way if you can. That doesn't cost anything. Hit the like, make a small comment, share the video, or tell somebody about the channel in passing. It doesn't cost anything to just keep us here at all, because it ain't about all of that. It's just about staying here so I can do what I love, because I love this, and you can tell, and I like to share it with you. So, all right, that was my speech. Asa, my Discord. All right, let me explain about my Discord. Everybody asked me about that. Okay, my Discord is private, and it's private for a reason, because there's a lot of creators there. Anyone who appears on my channel gets a link to the Discord. Also, any member of the channel, and they are quite reasonable, gets a link to the Discord. But that is a perk of membership, so I can't just hand it out. Okay, because I kind of structured it that way, and it wouldn't be fair to them. Although I love you all, and I would love all of you in there. Definitely. I got a solution for that, Asa. Let's do a stream. Like, come on my channel and get you a link to the Discord. I don't mean never mind. I want you there, girl. You're quite entertaining. And I do want people there that want. But I just want to explain about it, because I don't want any confusion with anybody, that I'm trying to keep anybody out. But that's how it's structured. And it's been structured that way from the beginning. And it wouldn't be fair for me to open it up wide like that. Okay, also, if you're a mod of my channel, you're in there too. So I don't want to say that there are people that aren't members that are in there that also are mods for the channel. That's where we hold the mod meetings and all on Discord. All right, so just to explain that, I'm not trying to keep anybody out at all, but Oh, Luke, when Mandy and I get together, you're absolutely right. We got a lot to say. And poor Randy, and he just let us go. He was quite gracious to us. He was very gracious to us in letting us do that. It's okay. I'm not asking anybody to sign up for membership at all. But Mia, you also have a channel, and you're a YouTube creator. If you're a YouTube creator, talk to me. There are ways that we can do stuff together and work on things. I am open to all creators in all kinds of genres about all kinds of conversations. I do lots of different content. If you check the channel, I not only do the AITs, which is just a fun way to read a Reddit thread and just have opinion on it. I also do library chats about specific issues that you may be covering or dealing with your channels and all, that you want to get the information out there. I do one-on-one conversations in library chats like that also. I also have a panel show called Mayhem that's a little balls little wall. It's kind of late in the evening, periodically on a weekend. And again, I do legal, like this. And I'm also covering tomorrow. I'll be covering the January 6th congressional hearing starting at 1 o'clock. And then I'll be appearing on a panel at Answers and Reasonings. We're going to be covering religion and politics over on Answers and Reasonings channel. And I'll be also linking that on my community tab. I know, Isa. I would love to. We need to make that. We've been talking about it. We really do need to make arrangements to do that, because I really would love to do that. On that, I'm gonna sign off. If you guys don't have any other questions, I hope I didn't confuse you about all of that, but it keeps coming up, and I just, I wanted everybody to have a clear understanding about it. On that, I'm going to see you all tomorrow, maybe for the congressional hearings. And after that, also on Thursday, there's more congressional hearings going on in the evening for that one. But hopefully, if I don't see you at the congressional hearings, maybe you'll check out Answers and Reasonings and our conversation with Joe and Dave about religion in politics, because that's also going to be a lot of fun. So take care, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And on that, I'm going to say, have a great night.